Sup guys, it's Alex here and welcome to a new Bracketology update. This one is for February 14th, even though that he made it last night, and so today's the 15th, so I made it the 15th of February, so this is as of Friday. And before I get into the Bracketology and like different changes and stuff like that and the different matchups, I just want to say something crazy happened yesterday. Like, you guys know if you've been subscribed to me that if I get to 2,000 subscribers by March 1st, then I will be giving away an NCAA tournament ticket. And if you're not new, or if you are new and stuff like that, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you help me get to 2,000 subscribers by March 1st, which I don't think we'll have any issue. Right now it's the 15th and we have 1989. But yesterday, we actually made it to 2,000 subscribers. And I even posted something on my community. I said, thank you to everyone who has subscribed and helped me reach 2,000 subscribers. Really can't thank you all enough, but then I'll be offering the NCAA tournament ticket. Got 20 likes, and thank you to everybody who responded to that. I went ahead and liked all the comments and stuff like that. But for some reason, it says that I lost like 20 subscribers since that happened. That way now I'm back down to 1989. I was up to like 2005 at one point. I don't know what happened there, but I'm sure we can get to 2,000 by March 1st. It gives us like 15 days or 14 days, somewhere around there. But yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you are already subscribed, make sure you tell your friends about it. I will be giving away the NCAA tournament ticket, and if I can get it here in the next week or so, then I'll post the video with all the details and stuff like that and how you guys can enter. And yeah, so there's just a quick little plug there. Thank you guys for all the support you've been showing me. This last Bracketology update that I did was my most viewed ever, or not ever, but the most viewed of this season. It was up to 838 views. We're approaching the 1,000 view mark per video. It's getting about 700 views per video normally, but yeah. So there's a little plug for it. Thank you guys for being supportive of me and stuff like that. I've been getting a couple Instagram DMs and stuff like that. So thank you guys. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this analysis. So in the East Regional right here, not a whole lot of change. I mean, Texas is up to an 8. Kansas State is now up to a 5. LSU remains a 4 after beating Kentucky at Rupp. I was at that game. I was going to record it and stuff like that. I didn't post it. I didn't just not post it because LSU won. But I was up in the top section because I was getting like the cheap tickets and stuff like that. And it just wouldn't have been a good video with the... my view was great, but there's people in the way. And if having the camera out recording it in bleacher seats is not the best, not the best move. So that's why I didn't post a video. I really did enjoy the game. It was a heck of a game. Didn't end the way I wanted it to with freaking LSU. That was obviously a goaltend, but I don't know why you can't review a goaltend. You can only review if the shot was tipped in, or if it got off in time or whatever, which it did get off in time, but it was a goaltend, but they can't review it, so it's just sour grapes at this point. But it didn't hurt Kentucky too much. LSU remains a 4, though I bet they are the top 4 seed. I'll be rooting for them. I mean, they're a really good team. Marquette remains a 3. Washington is now up to a 7. Clemson remains a 10. In football terms, that would be a heck of a matchup. I'm sure a lot of you college football fans would love to see that. Then over here in the South Regional in Louisville, I will be going to the Regional in Louisville at the KFCM Center. I will be seeing the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. I know I've been saying this every video, but for the people who are new, I'm so excited for it. I really am. I'll be vlogging every single game and stuff like that. So we'll see how that ends up going. And for the teams in there, we got Tennessee as the 2nd 1 seed, which I didn't even mention. The Duke comeback from 23 points down with 9 minutes to go against Louisville at Louisville. Louisville had a 99.9% chance to win, which means only 1 out of every 1,000 times in that situation Duke would come back, and we witnessed that 1 in 1,000 times. So that was pretty insane. I feel bad for the Louisville fans. Actually, I don't because I'm a UK fan. But yeah. And Wisconsin now down to a 5 after losing 2 in a row since they revealed the bracket last Saturday. Texas Tech is now up to a 4. Virginia Tech's now down to a 6. And then most people are just staying the same with the seeding, just moving regions and stuff like that. And then down here in the Midwest Regional in Kansas City, we have Virginia remaining the 1 seed. Baylor remains an 8. Auburn is now down to a 9. They've just been in a free fall mode ever since SEC play started. Louisville's now down to a 5 after blowing that lead against Duke. That would have been a statement win if they could have gotten that win, but it didn't work out too well. Minnesota is now down to a 12 after losing it to Nebraska. Nevada remains a 4, and then this one is really interesting. Indiana and Oklahoma are the play-in game right there, but it's as a 13 seed, which I think that's the lowest I've ever seen, like an at-large play-in. Joe Lunardi knows that these two teams aren't that good. There's a lot of mid-major teams in like the 11 to 12 range who are really good, like Lipscomb right there as an 11. And Kansas remains a 3, Maryland remains a 6, and it's just different teams changing regions and stuff like that for the rest. And over here in the West Regional, we got Gonzaga as the 1, Ole Miss and NC State pulling up the 8 and 9 spot. New Mexico State's now up to a 12. Iowa State is now up to a 4. I think they took Louisville's spot. Then we have Seton Hall in an at-large spot. They don't have to play a playing game now. They're at an 11. Buffalo remains a 7. Alabama remains a 10. Houston, who only has 1 loss on the season, remains a 3. They could be a sleeper team. And then Michigan State's starting to turn around after that little stretch to where they weren't doing much at all. And then in the bubble, I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Last 4 byes, Clemson, UCF, Seton Hall, and Minnesota, which means Alabama's safely in the field. They've been a bubble team for a lot of the season so far, same with Texas. Last 4 in, Arizona State, Temple, Oklahoma, and Indiana. I see 3 of those 4 teams not making it. I think Temple makes it, but Arizona State, Oklahoma, and Indiana do not. First 4 out are Florida, Utah State, Butler, and Belmont. And then the next 4 out are St. Mary's, San Francisco, Arkansas, and Davidson. So if you guys are new to the channel, I go to Brackify.com and create Joe Lunardi's bracket for you guys to go ahead and vote. Then put this link in the description. So if you're new, go ahead and, or if you've been watching the videos, go into the description of this video, check that out, click the link, and go ahead and vote and make your voices heard. And yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the picks. I'll show you guys who I like and the different matchups and stuff like that. So first off, we have Duke versus Bucknell. Obviously, I'm going to pick Duke there, Texas, and Ohio State. Ohio State, I don't think this was factored into Joe Lunardi's Bracketology since it came out yesterday, but or like last night or whatever. But Ohio State, man, how do you lose at home to a 9-15 Illinois team? That was their first road win of the season for Illinois. And so obviously I'm going to go with Texas here as the 8 seed. Then Kansas State, I like them over Hofstra here as the 5. As much as I want to pick John Morant and Murray State, LSU they impressed me, man. I mean, I saw them live against Kentucky. That even when Naz Reid went to the bench, they took it to Kentucky. I think that they're definitely going to win that game. Then I'm going to go with Iowa beating VCU, Marquette beating Old Dominion. Then I'm going to go with Clemson beating Washington here. Clemson just beat Virginia Tech, and they've been doing pretty good all season. They don't have any bad losses. I mean, their losses have been to good teams. They've been taking care of business and stuff like that. I'm going to go with the slight upset here with the 10/7, and then Michigan will beat Montana. Then I have Gonzaga beating the winner of that playing game. Then I'm going to pick Ole Miss here with the slight upset over, or I'm going to pick NC State with the slight upset over Ole Miss there. I know I said Ole Miss there. Then Villanova will beat New Mexico State. Not too worried about that. Iowa State will beat Vermont. I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going with the 11 seed Seton Hall beating Florida State. Florida State's been kind of inconsistent this season, and Seton Hall did beat Kentucky on a neutral floor. So why not go with the upset pick there with Seton Hall? Houston will beat UC Irvine. I think Alabama will lose to Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to get the dub there. And then Michigan State will beat Loyola Chicago. So then Tennessee will beat Sam Houston State, which I kind of clicked through that right there. Then I think that Syracuse will beat TCU, which you can kind of see my reflection in the screen right there with me holding the camera and stuff like that. Syracuse will beat TCU. Wisconsin and Ethan Happ will beat the winner of Arizona State and Temple, which I think would be Temple. Then Texas Tech will beat Yale. Then we have Virginia Tech beating UCF at Taco Fall. Purdue will beat Northern Kentucky. St. John's, I'm going to pick going with the upset here over Mississippi State. North Carolina will beat Radford. Virginia will beat the winner of that playing game. Baylor will beat Auburn. Louisville is facing another Pitino with Richard Pitino as the coach of Minnesota, but I definitely like Louisville in that matchup there. I'm not concerned that they would lose that. Then Indiana and Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma would probably win that matchup, but then Nevada would destroy them. Then Maryland, as much as I like Lipscomb, they just lost at home to Liberty, and then Maryland's been taking care of business recently, and I know a lot of people have been ragging on me for not picking Maryland. So I'm going to go with Maryland right here. I think that they beat Lipscomb. Kansas will beat Mike Dowman, South Dakota State. Cincinnati will beat Wofford, and then Kentucky will beat Texas State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we have Duke beating Texas, Kansas State, and LSU. I think this one could be a really, really, really good 4 versus 5 game. Honestly, don't know who would win that one because both teams have had some statement wins. I mean, LSU beat Kentucky, and then Kansas State had beaten Kansas. But I'm going to go with the 4 seed here. I think LSU, I saw them play live, and they really did impress me. So then Marquette, I think, would be Iowa. Then Michigan will be Clemson. This would be another great college football matchup to see. Then Gonzaga will be NC State. Then I think that Villanova will be Iowa State. I know I used to be huge on Iowa State, but I've kind of soured over them the last couple weeks. I think that Villanova would get the dub there. And Houston will beat Seton Hall. And then Michigan State, I think, would beat Buffalo. Tennessee would beat Tyus Battle and Syracuse. Then Texas Tech, with their stifling defense, I think would beat Wisconsin and Ethan Happ. Purdue would beat Virginia Tech. And then I'm going to go with another, or actually no, I thought about going with the upset there with St. John's over North Carolina because St. John's did go on the road and beat Marquette. I'm going to go with North Carolina, though. They've been doing pretty good. I know they just lost to Virginia, but they've only had 2 losses in ACC play. I think they're tied for 2nd in the conference. And Virginia will beat Baylor. I'm going to go with Louisville, pulling off the upset here against Nevada. I mean, Louisville just almost beat Duke. They had a horrible collapse and stuff like that, but Nevada hasn't really played anybody too good this season. I'm going to go with the 5/4 there. Then I'm going to go with the 6/3. I know Maryland isn't going to be a popular pick for a lot of people, but Kansas has been struggling with a lot of Power 5 teams. I know they've been turning around here recently, but I like Maryland pulling off the upset there with Bruno Fernando. I think Kansas is just going to be way too short-handed with 3 guys with D'Souza, Ezebiki, and Legero Vic all out for various reasons. Then Kentucky will beat Cincinnati. Then first spot in the Elite Eight, Duke will beat LSU. Then I'm going to pick Marquette with Marcus Howard beating Michigan right there. Michigan has really good defense, but their offense is just stagnant. I mean, they're averaging 60 points a game in Big Ten play or something like that. I don't know. But I think Marquette gets the victory there. Then Gonzaga will beat Villanova. Then Houston and Michigan State. I think that game would be a really good one to see. I'm going to go with the upset pick here for a lot of people. I'm going to go with Houston. They've only lost 1 game this season. Michigan State's been struggling. I know Langford's going to be out for the rest of the season. I'm going to go with the 3 seed moving on there. Then Tennessee will beat Texas Tech. Then I think that North Carolina would be Carson Edwards and Purdue. Virginia and Louisville, this is a rematch. These 2 teams have to play twice this season. And then, but last year, that was just a crazy thing with Virginia being down 4 with less than a second to play and still found a way to win that. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the 2 home-and-home games for the rest of the season. I might go to the one that's in Louisville. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But here, I like Virginia beating Louisville, and then Kentucky will beat Maryland. And then first spot in the Final Four, Duke will beat Marcus Howard and Marquette. I think that they shut down Marcus Howard, and Marquette just doesn't have a whole lot of backup there. And, Duke just showed that they can come back from 23 points down on the road. They're unstoppable. And then Gonzaga and Houston. I'm going to go with the upset pick here. I'm going to go with Houston moving on with Kelvin Sampson's team. I don't know if Kelvin Sampson as a coach has ever been to the Final Four, but I'm going to pick him here. I think that they beat Gonzaga. Then Tennessee, I think, would beat North Carolina. And then Kentucky and Virginia. As much as I want to pick Kentucky, I know they're a really, really good team this year. I think that Virginia would beat Kentucky in this situation, though. If Kentucky can beat Tennessee this weekend, that would be insane. It's at Rupp, but Joe Lunardi said that if Tennessee does beat Kentucky, Tennessee's still going to remain a 1 seed, and Kentucky will remain a 2, barring any loss by Gonzaga or anything like that. I'm going to pick Virginia moving on. Duke and Houston in the Final Four. I'm picking Duke moving on there, and then Tennessee and Virginia. I think Virginia is definitely going to win that matchup. And then Duke and Virginia in the national championship game. Duke has beaten Virginia twice already, both on their home court and at Virginia's home court. I'm sure they're going to face off in the ACC tournament at some point. Who knows who's going to win that? And then they'll face off for the 4th time here in the national championship. But, I can't pick Virginia here. Duke's won both of them. They just came back from 23 points down. I think that they're the best team in the nation. I think they get the national championship. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment in the comment section below on what you guys think will happen. Make sure you subscribe for a chance to enter that NCAA tournament ticket giveaway. And I will see you all later. Thank you guys for all the support.